Robinson. Her family is demanding answers after the influencer from South Jersey was found dead during a trip to Africa where she had just been engaged.
Do you
Robinson.
believe that Joe McCann had something to do with your daughter's death?
The luxury hotel the couple was staying at called saying Ashlee passed away. According to the hospital's medical report, Ashlee had an unidentified mark around her neck.
The first story they told her family was alcohol poisoning. Then they changed it to suicide. The hospital report says there was an unidentified mark around her neck. The man who proposed to her 4 days earlier says she hanged herself on the door. Those two things cannot both be the full story. Welcome back to Behind the Crime Tape. I am going to say this up front. If you have been following this case from episode 1, buckle up. Because every time we think we have the full picture, something new surfaces, something documented, something verifiable, something that makes the official narrative harder to stand behind. This is episode 3, and this case has more new layers than anything we have covered on this channel. But first, for anyone just finding us, here is the foundation you need. Ashlee Jenae, real name Ashlee Robinson, 31 years old, Miami-based lifestyle influencer, over 130,000 followers, a woman who built a brand around the soft life, the idea that black women deserve joy, luxury, peace, and intentional love without apology or compromise. She was the living, breathing, posting proof of that message. And she was supposed to come home from Zanzibar. She did not. On April 6, 2026, Ashlee and her fiancé, Joseph Isaac McCann, 45 years old, founder and CEO of crypto investment firm Asymmetric Financial, checked into the luxury Zuri Zanzibar resort in Tanzania. The trip was a celebration, her 31st birthday, a fresh engagement. McCann had proposed on safari, in front of a lion, while giraffes walked behind them. She said yes. She posted it. The world reacted with joy. By April 9th, she was dead. Tanzanian authorities ruled suicide. Her family said no. McCann waited 11 hours to call her parents, and when he did, he told them she was stable. She was not stable. She was already dying. Her family found out she was gone not from the man who proposed to her, but from the hotel. Since our last episode, 3 major developments have broken: the passport, and a voice that cut through the noise of a million social media posts and landed like a verdict. Let's get into all of it. Let's start with the passport, because this is the development that confirmed what many people had been asking since day one. Is Joe McCann free to walk away from this? The answer is no. Tanzanian authorities, specifically Zanzibar's Deputy Commissioner of Police, Zuberi Chembela, confirmed that McCann's passport has been confiscated. He is being held in the country as a witness while the investigation continues and while authorities await the results of the autopsy. Chapter 1. The Dream Trip That Became a Nightmare. Those were her last public words. It looked like the beginning of a fairy tale. How did a healthy, vibrant 31-year-old woman go from celebrating her birthday and her engagement to being, yes, intention? She was what a lot of people aspired to be: dream vacation to one of the most beautiful places on earth. Intro, dramatic music fades in. But within days of that proposal, Ashlee Jenae was dead. Elevated fashion, and what she called the soft life, choosing yourself, refusing to settle, and living with giraffe on a safari in Tanzania, smiling from ear to ear. The caption, Chapter 31, and I'm exactly where I need. She had flown to Tanzania with her fiancé, Joe McCann, a 45-year-old founder of a cryptocurrency. And the questions being asked right now, they are shaking the internet to its core. Ashlee Jenae, real name Ashlee Robinson, was a 31-year-old lifestyle influencer from South Jersey who had, on April 5, 2026, her 31st birthday, Ashlee posted her final Instagram update. She was standing beside a investment firm called Asymmetric Financial. The trip was supposed to be a celebration, a birthday trip. Joe even got down on one knee during the safari and proposed. Ashlee dropped to her knees with joy and said, "Let me tell you about a woman who was living her absolute best life to be. Built something special online, over 100,000 followers on Instagram and TikTok, known for luxury travel, found unresponsive in Oxery Villa just days later. That's exactly what we're breaking down today, chapter by chapter. People are tuning in from. They had booked it for 7 days, checking in as a newly engaged couple, riding the high of what should have. One is far from over. Now let's get into what actually happened at that resort, because this is where things start to fall apart. On the property. Chapter 1. Chapter 2. The night everything went wrong. If you're just finding this story, drop A in the comments right now. Music shifts more intense. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you're new. We cover stories that matter, and this. But on the evening of April 8, 2026, just 3 days after Ashlee's birthday, something went very wrong. Here's a detail that makes this even more chilling. Before the staff moved him, a hotel attendant checked on. When the attendant returned, the room was dark. The door was locked. Enough that hot staff had to intervene. They physically separated the couple, moving Joe to a different room. Ashlee and Joe were staying at the Zuri Zanzibar, a luxury hotel where rooms cost close to $950 a night. Now, told them to come back in 15 minutes. According to reports, a domestic dispute broke out between Ashlee and Joe inside the villa. It got heated. Ashlee, she was alive. She asked the attendant for a phone charger. The attendant got it for her, and Ashlee, stay with me, this story is deeper than the headlines. And tell me, where are you watching from? Drop your city or country below. I love seeing where my been a magical trip. Using the spare key, they entered and found Ashlee unresponsive, hanging from a door. She was still breathing when they found her. Emergency help was called immediately. She was rushed to a nearby hospital. She never made it home. This story is heartbreaking and it deserves to be heard. The medical reports that raised red flags. When Ashlee was taken to the hospital, the initial reports were confusing. Her family says that when they first arrived, they were told she had alcohol poisoning. Then the story changed. Cerebral hypoxia from strangulation and suffocation. That is how Ashlee Jenae's death was officially documented by medical professionals. Joe McCann reportedly told authorities that when he went to check on Ashlee, he found that she had hanged herself on the door. Let that sink in, but here's the problem. The medical reports don't tell a clean story. Let's share this video with someone who needs to know about Ashlee Jenae. One hospital that treated Ashlee noted an unidentified mark around the neck. A second hospital went even further, listing the official cause of death as cerebral hypoxia caused by strangulation and suffocation. Now, here's where this story goes from tragic to deeply suspicious. But on April 10, 2026, 2 days later, Ashlee Jenae passed away. This is all documented by medical professionals. Now, those findings alone don't prove anything conclusively, but they absolutely raised red flags. Tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? And what do you think about the medical? Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss our next update on this case. Let's talk about Ashlee's family because they have been through something no parent should ever have to. Think about that. Report. Chapter 4, the family's desperate search for answers. The medical details in this case are chilling. Not from her fiancé, but from the hotel itself. CTA Chapter 3. A woman who 4 days earlier was on her knees saying yes to a marriage proposal. A woman who captioned, "Share this video so more people can hear Ashlee's story." Taken to the hospital, but when it came to confirming her death, that call came from the resort. Endure. Ever lead me to believe that she would do something to harm herself. A lot of people aren't either. And since that moment, the family says they haven't heard from Joe at all. Investigators for her family and for millions of people online who started asking the same question. Harry Robinson and Yolanda Denise Endres, Ashlee's father and mother, heard their daughter was gone. If this was suicide, why does the medical report point to strangulation? Joe McCann did eventually call. He told Yolanda that Ashlee did something to herself and was being Ashlee's mother. Yolanda Denise Endres said it plainly in an interview. Her last post, "I'm exactly where I need to be." Her family is not buying the suicide narrative. And honesty, no condolences, no explanation, silence. Ashlee's mother has revealed that Ashlee had called her on April 8th during the dispute to tell her about it. The internet rallied behind them. A GoFundMe launched for Ashlee's family surpassed its $50,000 goal, raising over $63,000 to help with funeral and travel costs. Ashlee's remains have since been returned to U.S. soil. Her family is preparing her funeral in New Jersey. Answers that kept not coming, but for them, the fight for truth is just beginning. Embassy officials trying to get information about the investigation. They've been pushing Tanzanian authorities. Like and subscribe. This is the kind of story we will keep covering until there are real answers. Drop a prune in the comments and let us know, where are you watching from? Share this video to keep the pressure on. Joseph Isaac McCann is 45 years old. He's the founder of Asymmetric Financial, a cryptocurrency investment firm. By all outward appearances, he was a successful, well-off businessman. He and Ashlee appeared to be a power couple, living their best life together. So let's talk about Joe McCann, because a lot of people are just now learning who he is. Chapter 5, Joe McCann. Who is this man? Authorities for surveillance footage from the Zuri Zanzibar from the night of April 8th. Footage they believe they even considered flying to Tanzania themselves to meet with investigators in person, unwilling to wait for the argument with Joe. That was one of their last conversations. But now, in the aftermath of Ashlee's death, details about Joe are painting a very different picture. First, the timeline. According to the family, Joe waited approximately 11 hours before contacting them about the incident. 11 hours. When he did call, he downplayed the severity of what had happened. Leaving the third, Joe has had virtually no contact with Ashlee's family since her death. The man who was about to become their son-in-law went completely silent. No explanation, no outreach, nothing. And now here's the headline you came here for. Joe McCann was stopped at the airport. Tanzanian authorities seized his passport and detained him for questioning. He was being held, not as a charged suspect, but as a family with the impression that Ashlee was going to be okay. But the investigation? Very much ongoing. His passport remains withheld. He is still in Tanzania. No charges have been filed as of the latest reports. Chapter 6. Passport seized, the airport moment that shocked everyone. Share this video and subscribe. We're keeping tabs on this story so you don't have to. Let's take about TH moment that set the internet on fire. The family publicly stated this, they haven't heard from him. High energy headline moment. Us, KTA, Chapter 5. And tell me, where are you watching from? She was not okay. Joe McCann's silence is loud. Witness. Now, whether he was headed to the airport to fly back to the United States or elsewhere, when authorities caught wind of it, they moved fast, saying the investigation was still actively ongoing. The entire investigation had not been publicly released as of the most recent reports. But here's what's clear. Tanzanian authorities are not treating this as a closed case. The passport seizure tells us Ashlee Jenae's case has gone international. What we do know, Joe was questioned as a witness. Not arrested, not charged, but not free to leave the country either. Chapter 7. Cardi B speaks. That girl did not off herself. Tanzanian police seized Joe McCann's passport. He was stopped and brought in for questioning. Drop a shocked face in the comments if this shocked you, and tell me, where are you watching from? You don't hold a man's travel documents on a case you've already written off. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Chapter 7 is going to hit different. The passport seizure changes everything. Share this video right now. This story needs more eyes on it. This was a massive development, because it signaled that investigators were not done with him. You don't hold a man's travel documents on a case you've already written off. The family has been waiting on those results. The internet has been waiting. Everyone is waiting. There are unanswered questions. The authorities know it, the family knows it, and now millions of people watching from around the world know it too. His passport is being held pending the results of Ashlee's official autopsy, and that autopsy, critical to the case. The Deputy Director of Investigations in Zanzibar, Zuberi Kambera, I've a full public statement. Seizes someone's passport if you're fully satisfied with their account of events. Shift in tone, culture moment. When celebrities speak up about a case, it amplifies everything. And one of the biggest names in music and Cardi isn't exactly known for reckless statements. She said what she said. Don't go anywhere. Media bringing millions of new eyes to the case, thunderclap, mental state, or the joy she was experiencing on that trip would ever point to self-harm. A woman who had just fled. Nobody who knew Ashlee, neither family, neither followers, could reconcile the woman they knew. Ashlee Jenae's name trended. The pressure on authorities intensified, and demands for a full, transparent. The case had gone viral before, but after Cardi's post, it exploded. Investigation grew louder than ever. With the suicide narrative being suggested, the case has gone viral before, but after Cardi's post, it exploded. Investigation grew louder than ever. People flooded their pies. Drop a bomb if you think the word needs to keep taking about this. Share this video. Also, subscribe and let's make sure Ash's name is never forgotten. One chapter effed. Her words echoed exactly what Ashlee's mother told the press, that nothing about her daughter's personality, but to report an argument. Jenae. And while Cardi didn't elaborate further or confirm it directly, that post sent shockwaves through social. Cardi B said what millions were thinking. Gotten engaged. Wo posted, "I'm exactly where I need to be." Wo called her mom on April 8th not in despair. The online response to Cardi's post was massive. Supporters rallied. Skeptics pushed back. But the common, "Tell me, where are you watching from? I want to hear from you." On April 13th, 2026, Cardi B took X, formerly Twitter, and posted 4 words that broke the internet. No explanation, no name attached. Just 4 exclamation points in a statement that landed like a put her voice behind Ashlee Jenae's story. Up. That girl didn't off herself. Ashlee Jenae, off. Chapter 8, What Happens Next? Justice for Ashlee Jenae. The official autopsy results have not been publicly released. Ashlee's family is still fighting for answers. Still. Final CTA. Chapter 8. People who never met Ashlee Jenae, but were followed her journey, who admired her, who saw themselves in, and U.S. officials. If this video moved you, share it. Ashlee's story deserves to be heard everywhere. Pushing for surveillance footage from the resort, still demanding transparency from both Tanzanian authorities, choose themselves, and live bodily. These are not small questions. These are the questions that determine whether Ashlee Jenae gets justice. We will keep covering this story until there are real answers. Ashlee Jenae was 31 years old. She was vibrant, she was loved, and she deserved to come home. Ashlee's body has been returned home. Her family is spanning her funeral in New Jersey, laying to rest. And yet, here we are, with more questions than answers. Surveillance footages show. What will the official autopsy confirm? Why does the medical report reference? Closing. Powerful and purposeful. Why did Joe wait 11 hours to contact the family? Why has he not spoken to them since? What does the strangulation mean when the initial narrative pointed to suicide? The world is watching. Cardi B said what she said. Ashlee's family refuses to be quiet, and a community of her are making sure her name stays in the conversation. A daughter, a content creator, a woman who spent her platform showing other women what it looks like to. As of late April 2026, Joe McCann remains in Tanzania. His passport is still withheld by authorities. He has not been charged with any crime. The investigation is active and ongoing. Rest in power, Ashlee. So where does this case stand right now? Drop a boom in the comments to honor her memory.